We gather to inquire of the text, bringing a specific question before the living word. The question is this: how does the shroud image relate to the transphysical testimony of recognition and memory in the age to come concerning covenant family continuity? The lead verse drawn to frame this inquiry is Numbers chapter 33, verse 12. It says, "They took their journey out of the desert of Sin and encamped at Dophkah." This opening station sets the posture of our search. The people departed the wilderness of missing the mark, arriving at a place whose name signifies an impression made by force. The cloth is this station. It is the linen upon which the passage from death to life left its impression. It is a fixed place where the journey is recorded before it continues. As we listen to the drawn scriptures, a clear narrative emerges about garments, images, and the preservation of memory. In 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 14, we see the mantle of Elijah falling as he departs. Elisha takes it up, and the sons of the prophets recognize that the spirit of Elijah now rests upon him. The garment carries identity across the threshold. The shroud participates in this pattern. It is the linen that retains the impression of the one who passed through death, carrying that identity for recognition by those who come after. This theme of being clothed is deepened in Mark chapter 5, verse 15. The townspeople came to Joshua and saw the man, now sitting and clothed, and in his right mind, and they were afraid. The garment is the visible sign of restoration. The fear of the witnesses is the fear of true recognition. They perceive what the clothing signifies, and they are shaken. The clothed man is the restored man. The deepest language of image formation in this draw is found in Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 4. It says his brightness was as the light, he had rays of light coming out of his hand, and there was the covering of his power. The power is both revealed in the covering and hidden by it. The radiance proceeds from the body, and the covering receives the impression while concealing the fullness of the power that made it. The shroud is this covering. It is linen where radiance from the body has left its image, and where the power remains veiled in the weave. This image is not a painted idol, but a representation that participates in the reality it depicts. In 1 Kings chapter 7, verse 48, Solomon fashioned the golden table where the showbread was placed. This is the bread of the face, continually before the presence of God. The shroud is a bread of the face for the age to come. It is the face of the one who passed through death, set before the presence as a testimony that will not be removed. Just as Aaron laid up the manna before the sacred writings to be kept, as recorded in Exodus chapter 16, verse 34, this linen is laid up to be kept. The testimony is also sealed by blood. In Ezekiel chapter 43, verse 20, and Leviticus chapter 9, verse 9, we see blood put on the horns of the altar to cleanse and consecrate. The blood on the altar is both a testimony of sacrifice and a seal of setting apart. The shroud bears the marks of blood, and this blood is both the record of the passion and the seal that sets the linen apart as a consecrated testimony. In Leviticus chapter 8, verse 29, Moses takes the breast and waves it for a wave offering before WH. The shroud is a wave offering, the linen lifted up and displayed as the consecration testimony of the one whose body it received. Yet, we must address the problem of recognition. Mark chapter 4, verse 12, states this directly. Seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand. The image can be seen without being perceived. The eye can rest upon the testimony without recognizing what it is. This is the dynamic of the post-resurrection appearances. The risen Joshua was not always immediately recognized. The shroud image participates in this same dynamic. It is faint, nearly invisible to the naked eye in positive form. It becomes legible only when viewed in a particular way. Recognition requires a particular kind of seeing. In Luke chapter 2, verses 27 through 31, Simeon holds the child Joshua and says, "My eyes have seen your salvation, that you have prepared before the presence of all the people." Recognition is the act of perceiving who is before you. In John chapter 3, verses 1 and 2, Nicodemus comes by night and says, "We know that you are a teacher come from Elohim, because no man can do these miracles that you do, except Elohim is with him." This is recognition through visible testimony. At the threshold of death, the command in Mark chapter 5, verse 36, is given. Be not afraid, only believe. Now we must weigh the mathematical verdict, which guides our interpretation. The deterministic inquiry answer is neutral. The probability of yes is 92.0%, no is 7.7%, and unresolved is 0.3%. The claim is a strong anomaly. This neutral verdict is the interpretive key. The text does not simply declare yes, the shroud is a clear and forcing sign of the age to come. It says something more nuanced. The testimony is real and powerful, but it operates in a mode of both revelation and concealment. The image testifies, but it also veils. Recognition is offered, but it is not forced. The statistical markers confirm this overwhelming force. The guided draw shows extreme anomaly, with a Fisher chi-squared value of 123.66. The triple convergence standard is met, with strong convergence across 5 of 6 channels. The Dominion triad fires at 7.34 sigma, reaching the discovery level. Identity, inheritance, and priesthood converge with extreme force. What, then, is the Father saying to this question? The shroud image is a real and powerful witness of transphysical testimony, but it is a witness that operates at the threshold where revelation and concealment meet. The linen received the knock of radiance and retains it. The mantle testifies that the garment carries identity. The radiance from the hand testifies that the image was formed by light. The bread of the face testifies that the image is always before the presence. The blood testifies to consecration. But the recognition problem remains the heart of the neutral verdict. The shroud image does not force recognition. It is faint. It becomes legible only when the right light falls upon it. This is the nature of testimony in the age to come. It is offered, not imposed. Covenant family continuity is not maintained by the force of the image alone, but by the act of seeing. Be not afraid, only believe. The numbers confirm the text. 7.34 sigma of covenantal convergence. Extreme anomaly across all gates. 38 direct textual hits. 71% question relevance. 493 verse-to-verse thematic connections. The Father is speaking with overwhelming force through the full architecture of covenantal standing. Identity, inheritance, and priesthood converge at the discovery level. But the polarity is balanced. The testimony of the shroud is balanced between revelation and concealment, between the image that is there and the recognition that must be given. The age to come does not erase this tension. It fulfills it. When every eye sees, and every covering reveals what it has hidden, the active remembrance of the cloth becomes the active remembrance of the face seen face to face. The workstation facilitates this inquiry in humility, leaving the final encounter with the living word to the Spirit of the Father. The verses drawn in this Shield 17.12 session were Numbers chapter 33, verse 12, Mark chapter 12, verse 22, Isaiah chapter 47, verse 8, Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 32, 1 Samuel chapter 26, verse 23, Revelation chapter 2, verse 8 to 9. This concludes today's interpretation under the Shield protocol.